Today we're diving deep into the saga of Nicolas Cage, a Hollywood legend whose career has spanned the highest peaks of superstardom and the darkest valleys of controversy. He's a man who has inspired memes, divided critics, and left an indelible mark on the film industry. This is the fascinating rise, fall, and resurgence of Nicolas Cage. Our story begins in Long Beach, California, where Nicholas Kim Coppola, later known as Nicolas Cage, was born on January 7, 1964. From an early age, Cage's life seemed destined for the spotlight. He was the nephew of acclaimed director Francis Ford Coppola, whose cinematic legacy includes masterpieces like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. But Cage wanted more than just to ride on the coattails of his famous uncle. He wanted to carve out a career on his own terms. Early in his journey, Cage made a bold decision that would define his identity as an actor. He changed his surname to Cage, inspired by the Marvel comic book character Luke Cage, as well as avant-garde composer John Cage. He wanted to separate himself from the shadow of the Coppola name, and this independence set the tone for his entire career. Nicolas Cage wasn't just another aspiring movie star, he was an artist determined to forge his own path. Cage burst onto the scene in the 1980s, delivering standout performances in films like Valley Girl, Racing with the Moon, and Birdie. But his breakout role came in 1987 with Moonstruck, a romantic comedy where he starred opposite Cher. His portrayal of the passionate, tortured Ronnie Camilleri earned him widespread acclaim and established him as one of Hollywood's hottest leading men. Cage wasn't just an actor, he was an enigma blending raw emotion with eccentric charisma. The 90s cemented Cage's reputation as one of the most versatile and daring actors in Hollywood. In 1995, he won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in Leaving Las Vegas, where he played Ben Sanderson, an alcoholic screenwriter intent on drinking himself to death. Cage's performance was haunting, deeply human, and unforgettable. This was the golden age of Nicolas Cage, when everything he touched turned to cinematic gold. And it wasn't just drama where Cage excelled. He also became an action star, headlining blockbuster hits like The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off. With his larger-than-life persona, Cage was perfect for the adrenaline-fueled, high-octane storytelling of the era. His ability to transition seamlessly from independent dramas to explosive action films was virtually unparalleled. By the early 2000s, Cage was one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, dominating the box office with films like National Treasure. He had reached the pinnacle of success. Fame, fortune, and accolades flooded his life. But amidst the glitz and glamour, cracks had begun to form beneath the surface. What led to the fall of Nicolas Cage? It wasn't just one thing. It was a perfect storm of personal choices, financial troubles, and career missteps. In the mid-2000s, Cage's extravagant spending habits started to make headlines. He bought mansions, islands, castles, rare comic books, and even a dinosaur skull. Legend has it that Cage once outbid Leonardo DiCaprio for the fossil of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. These indulgences might seem like harmless eccentricities, but they came with a cost: financial ruin. By 2009, Cage faced massive debts and unpaid taxes, leading to the loss of several of his prized properties. The actor had to embrace relentless work to dig himself out of debt, taking nearly every role offered to him, regardless of quality. Cage went from being a selective superstar to an actor whose name was stamped on countless direct-to-video films. Critics and audiences began to question his choices. High-profile flops like The Wicker Man provided ammunition for skeptics, while Cage became a frequent target of ridicule and internet memes. His intense acting style, once seen as bold and daring, was now labeled as over-the-top. But here's the thing about Nicolas Cage: he's nothing if not resilient. Even at his lowest points, Cage continued to experiment and innovate. He embraced roles that were unorthodox, bizarre, and risky, projects others wouldn't touch. Films like Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, and Mandy showcased the raw talent that had made Cage a star in the first place. He proved he still had the ability to surprise, challenge, and captivate audiences. What's perhaps most remarkable is how Cage transformed himself into a pop culture phenomenon. Where other stars might have faded into obscurity, he leaned into his eccentricity, embracing the quirks that made him an icon. Cage became the embodiment of creativity, unshackled, unafraid to revel in the weird and wonderful. One of Cage's more recent triumphs was his critically acclaimed performance in 2021's Pig. In what many considered a stunning return to form, Cage played a reclusive truffle hunter searching for his stolen pig. The film was understated, emotional, and a powerful reminder of Cage's depth as an actor. Gone were the outlandish antics. Here was Nicolas Cage at his most raw and vulnerable. And this brings us to a vital truth about Nicolas Cage. Whether he's soaring to unprecedented heights or grappling with setbacks, Cage remains above all a storyteller. He is endlessly passionate about cinema, unafraid to take risks, and unapologetically himself. He's an artist who defies convention, embracing the chaos and unpredictability of life. So what's next for Nicolas Cage? With the resurgence of critical acclaim and renewed interest in his work, Cage shows no signs of slowing down. He continues to challenge himself, taking on roles both strange and sublime, from the surreal, the unbearable weight of massive talent to his highly anticipated upcoming projects. The rise, fall, and resurgence of Nicolas Cage is a testament to the power of persistence. It's not just a Hollywood story, it's a human story. Cage has reminded us that failure isn't the end and reinvention is always possible. At the core of it all, Nicolas Cage is a man who lives and breathes his craft. He is proof that sometimes the wildest dreamers are the ones who endure. And you know what? The movie isn't over yet. Nicolas Cage's career is far from finished. As long as there's a screen to fill, a story to tell, and an audience to enchant, Cage will be there, unpredictable, passionate, and infinitely captivating.